Hello, everyone. Welcome to Management Secrets. My name is Cedric. And for those of you returning here, I'm so grateful you're here. I'll do all of that because of you. So thanks for coming back. And if you're new here, welcome to Management Secrets. On this channel, I'll talk about my experience as a manager. I'm not talking about theories, notebooks. We're talking about what's going on the ground, what it is to be a manager. So I share with you my success so that I can inspire you, and also I share with you my failures because you don't need to go through all the hardship of that. You can go faster. And that's what I do in this channel. Today, we are not going to talk about my own experience. Today is a special day because we're having some special guests. As you can see on the screen here, I got two amazing people that have granted me with the opportunity to share some time with me, to share their experience with me and with you. So I'm with Rich and Michael. These are two great coaches, executive coaches. I'm going to let them introduce themselves because I think they can make you better justice. So without further ado, I introduce you, Michael and Rich. We might start with Michael.
All right, thank you. Cedric, we appreciate and we're grateful for the opportunity to be with you and your audience today. My background goes back some 30 years or so in the helper profession, where I started out in California a number of years ago working with people, and it was about, we called it adult education. It probably brings up different kinds of images now about adult education, but back then it was about how do you improve yourself. It was a fairly new kind of a thing. And over the years, it evolved into working with people in businesses. When the internet came up, we were doing stuff with the internet, helping people getting their chops up for the internet, helping them at that point in time about how do you become an entrepreneur when you've been trained all your life to be an employee. Huge mind shift, and they just didn't understand it. That was a fun thing to do. Then professionals working with professionals, and then leaders over a period of time, and so that's kind of where it is that I've come from. It's been a journey, my own journey, an evolution, and the way that I kind of look at coaching over these years is coaching is something that is really a craft. It's a craft. It's a craft that you bring tools to your experiences, like a wheelwright or a woodwright would be, a shipwright, somebody who knows how to build something, whether it's small, something big, something enormous, whatever it may be. But you got to have the tools, the experience to work with the people to get what it is that they want. So I see it as a practice. Practice, you're
Awesome.
practicing, you're a coach, you're not really a coach. No, lawyers have a practice,
Yeah.
CPAs have a practice, dentists have a practice. They're very top professional people. Well, I think coaching is a practice, and if you're really good at it, is you are a professional at it. So that's kind of my take on it.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Michael. Thanks for sharing that with us. Now,
Thank you.
Rich.
Cedric, thank you so much. This is a great opportunity and a great privilege to be with you this morning on your podcast. So, Rich Barron, I come from a different background than Michael, where Michael's been involved in executive coaching for decades now. I come from a background of being an executive roles in a medical device organization, operational and executive roles. And throughout that time, one of the primary things that I learned, and learning this from great mentors, was how important the people are that you work with. And so we were able to achieve some great successes from 2006 to 2019, 100% customer retention. We operated at a true 5.67 Sigma. It was just, and this was all because the people that I work with, building these teams, using these tools that help really sustain a successful organization. And it's very interesting because when it was sold in 2019, the business was sold. They came in and let a lot of the people go that were there, thinking that we can run this our own way. And the business folded in 8 months, where it had been a very successful, thriving business. So it just goes to show that it's from the outside, we look at a successful business. They're bringing in a lot of revenue. They're doing, very well. They got great customer retention, got a great product. But in the end, it's the people that drive the organization. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people don't understand is how important developing the people in your organization and giving them the opportunity for input, for engaging, to understand that the entire, top to bottom, how the organization works. And so at that point, I wanted to be able to share some successes. How do I share successes? And ended up meeting Michael in a roundabout way, and determined that this is a path that I wanted to continue down as far as coaching. So, I'm fairly new to coaching. And as Michael said, there's a lot to learn. It's not simply hanging a shingle out. And you see a lot of these people doing that. I'm a coach now, but and we taught one of your initial posts, Cedric, that really caught my attention about what you were talking about was that, do you have the success? Do you have the background to truly back up what you're saying? There's theory and there's the practical part of this. So here I am, for better or worse, and learning and developing myself as a coach and wanting to pass on those to others.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Rich. That was very powerful what you just said. And what we're gonna go through now is actually what I want to share with all the viewers is what I want us to talk about is leadership in general, because this channel is about leadership. So obviously you guys been around longer than me. And I wanted to know, what is your take about leadership in the past 20 years? Do you think it's changed? Do you think it's the same? What's your take from that?
I think it's a combination of yes and no. Yes and no. I think people are, throughout history, people are really pretty much similar from generation to generation. We all have our personalities, we have our likes, we have our dislikes, we have the way that we work. There's different situations that are in, but people pretty much are people. That's just the way it is. What is a real influencer on people is education. And when that education changes, then that changes their perspective about things, their expectations about life, themselves, and other people. And I think over the last probably 20, 30 years or so, there's been changes in the way that we've raised our children. That has probably been the biggest factor of all, is, kind of the thing is the participation trophy mentality. Just because I'm here, I should get a trophy, even though I didn't really do it. I didn't win. Maybe I didn't even play on the field, but I get a trophy anyway. So I think that has fed a lot of this sense of entitlement. And I think along with that entitlement, there's been this sense of, I already know it. There's this scale, you probably are aware of it. I don't think Richie and I, we've ever talked about it, but it came to my mind as you and I were speaking this morning. It's this scale of unconscious incompetence. And have you heard that? Are you aware of that scale?
That's new to me.
It's a very interesting scale. I don't remember who came up with it, but they came up with it a few years ago, probably about 20, 30 years ago. And it goes this way. People start out as unconscious incompetence. That means they really don't know that they don't know. They think they know. There's this, I know that. And when in fact, when you really start digging in, they start to realize they don't know. They're unconscious and they're incompetent. So as they start learning something new, they start becoming conscious about their own incompetence. It's like, really? And I'm thinking of one particular fellow, specifically John, out of Santa Clarita, California, I was working with. He thought he had pretty much together. He was making, I think at that time, in his own business, he was making about $150,000, $175,000 a year. Santa Clarita is a nice place in California. I mean, it's nice. He was living in a $1.2 million home. This is a number of years ago when really, when you bought a $1.2 million, it was something. It wasn't like, oh, I got 2 bedrooms, a $1.2 million home. It wasn't like that at all. And I remember taking him on. I says, yeah, I pretty much have this. I think I got this. I think I'm gonna just kind of do it. It'll be a lot of fun. It was so interesting as he started getting the blinders off of his eyes and his ears, and he started going, hey, you know what? I really don't know this. I really, really don't know this. Oh my, I really, really don't. And watching him over a period of about 6 months and coming out of saying, I had no idea. And he went through the process of unconscious incompetence to competent to conscious incompetent to now a conscious competent person. Now we really knew what he's doing to that now unconscious competent person that you just do it. And it was a fascinating journey and how that set him up, moving his profession along in other ways. The result of that for him was fascinating stuff. Just 2 points I'm going to make. He tripled his income because of
Wow.
that. He was already making a lot of good dough doing what it is that he was doing in his business. The second thing, he ran up against somebody who was the kind of guy that do it my way or the highway. It was one of his customers. And the guy wanted to write the ticket the way he wanted to write it, not the way John did business. And because John had developed that internal fortitude, that internal confidence of knowing who he was and how he worked, he's able to stand up to this guy who he was bringing a lot of money to, but the guy could take that away from him. He stood up to him. He worked it out the way he wanted to. And this is the classic story. He got his business now. He had tripled his income. He was working 2 to 4 hours a day instead of like 20 hours a day. And so when you have a coach to assist you in learning how to be your best in your business, best in who you are as a person, all those kinds of things. He's got a wonderful marriage. He had a lot of stuff he had to deal with in his private life as well. But if you do that, everything else just kind of simplifies, focuses. You get rid of all the extra junk in your life and just focus on the purpose. Why am I here? What's necessary? Living your life the way you want to, living it the best and enjoying it the most. That's, to give you an example.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Michael. And you, Rich, what have you observed in terms of leadership for the past 20 years?
It's interesting, and I think Michael hit on a point. We see, I personally have seen a lot of change in the way people approach leadership. And a lot of that, I believe, has to do with social media, the being able to get a lot of that information out there. There's no shortage of information now on leadership. But, 20 years ago, it really wasn't like that. A lot of it came from books, from the School of Hard Knocks. You think about executive coaching 20 years ago or leadership development 20 years ago, or, even beyond that. It was something that was probably reserved for, people who had in upper level roles, C-suite roles, if you will. That was where that real development was taking place. And if anybody did come and talk to you, it was basically a seminar and, some slides or whatever, talking about communication skills or something like that. But nobody really was doing any of this leadership development that I knew of, outside of reading books or maybe attending a seminar here and there. And now it's literally everywhere. There's all sorts of information out there. But it's what you do with that information. You just grab this information and think, this is it. This is going to make me a great leader. But I think a lot of this really goes back to experience. We talk about being in the comfort zone. And unless you've been in a situation where you're in the comfort zone and everything falls down around you, and you have to pull yourself out of this hole, it's difficult to talk about the comfort zone, unless you truly know what that means. Or, building these teams, developing people around you. What are you truly doing? What's your goal? And how do you get that group together? And so I think there's a lot of change from what I've seen. Now, I know the theories have always been there. And, even going back, let me back up a little further, even when I was even younger, Cedric. There was a lot of talk around, if you're born a leader. You have those traits automatically. And so you're going to be able to be a great leader someday. There was really no thought put into it that there's transformational leadership. How do you transform yourself? How do you transform those people around you to become great leaders? And so in my experience, yes, it has changed. And I see a lot of that because of social media, because of the access to so much information. But in the end, it's do you really know what to do with that information? And that's where coaching comes in right now to really build you up to that, to be that leader. You and I, Cedric, can read a book. You and I can go out and read anything out there. And we're both going to come away with maybe something different. And how we apply that, is it truly going to work? No, we need, it's like Michael said, you need someone that's a professional, you need someone that's in a practice, needs someone that's there to really help you to that next level. And that's having that access to that now is really advantageous, not only for, career leaders, but these new emerging leaders coming up through the ranks.
Wow, thanks very much, Rich. That's very enriching. That is very powerful information there. And the question I have for you guys now, and that might be the last question for today, for today's section for this video, is we have viewers on my channel that some of them want to be leaders, they want to be managers. Some of them already been there for some times, but maybe they're stuck and they don't really know where to go. What advice would you give them to be successful in their leadership today?
All right, I'll give you 2 points here really quickly. We give you 3 maybe. One is your ability to connect with other people in positive ways, really in positive ways that leave them feeling good for talking with you, working with you. They just feel uplifted. They feel energized. They feel your enthusiasm, your optimism, the we can go get it done. We can make this thing happen. Be that person that is the light in the room, that is the energized person in a positive way. There's a book called The Like Switch that talks about, if you were to give somebody negative feedback and say, well, this is what you really got to do, and people are going, oh, I don't want to fight. But for every time you do that, you've got to at minimum give them 3 positives to offset that. The first time you said, well, you don't want to do this, or you got to fix it. They go, okay. I said, no, but there's other things you're doing. Yeah, whatever. No, I'm serious. This is also something maybe. Third time, then you start turning them. See, that's what we're looking at. The ability to work with people and influence them to improve. Now you can do that up to about 11 times. And after that, they start thinking you're Mary Poppins. But there's this range, of giving them, the hard stuff, then the good stuff that's supportive. That's one thing. So the second thing I'd say, be really good at managing and motivating yourself. Be the example that knows how to use his or her time well, that knows how to plan, that knows how to get things done, on time, to create a positive expectation of, for yourself, that this is what we do. This is how we do it. Be good at what it is that you do. And the third thing I would say is this: take a look and see, is this the right place for you? Sometimes you are not in the right place. Sometimes you can be in the exact wrong place, or it's off just enough that it's crimping you, it's hobbling you, it's making you feel bad. They have got different principles and different kinds of values. You may love the mission, you may love the vision of the company, but if the people that are running it really don't resonate with you, then you need to get out. You need to find a better place for you to grow as a leader. But if you're taking those good things, the ability to connect, to help other people, inspire them, and you're taking your own thing about, I got to become the best at what I do, and you mean it and you do it, you're going to be a person out there that's powerful. You're going to be dangerous because you know how to get things done. So that'd be my advice.
Thank you, Michael. And you, Rich, would you advise those people that want to be leaders, that want to succeed today?
This is what I would tell you: is be careful of falling in that trap that the title means everything. That simply having a title means you're a leader. Do your due diligence, because here's the thing: if you're after a title, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. But on the other hand, if you're looking to become a true leader, you need to do your due diligence. You need to learn and take time and develop those skills. The thing is leadership is a privilege. You can literally hold people's careers in your hands. And when you're doing that, you're holding not only their career, but their life, and maybe their families' lives and everything else. So it's important for you to do your due diligence and understand what a true leader is. It's not title. It's not title at all. There's two different worlds. There's the boss's title, and there's leadership titles. And then there's leadership, and leadership is a title in and of itself. You need to make sure that you've done your due diligence and taken the time to learn and develop yourself, develop those skills, and keep growing them. You never stop growing as a leader. You never stop growing as an individual. There's always something more you can learn. There's always something from somebody that you can take and look at and mold that for yourself. So my advice would be get a coach. Plain and simple.
Get a coach. This is that is the thing. That is the point today.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Michael and Rich. So obviously, if we want to get hold of you, how can we get in touch with you guys?
Rich?
All right. You can get us at executiveleadersact.ilec.com.
Okay.
And that's the best place to find our contact information and learn more about what it is that we do.
Exactly. I will leave that at the bottom of the screen so that people can actually have access to it and reach you guys when they need to. It's been an honor. It's been great. It's been great to have you and to have your insight of what leadership was to what it is today, and also for all the followers here, all the viewers, to know if they want to be successful, what action they need to take today if they want to be successful. We talked about looking after your team, making sure you're in the right place, making sure that what you're doing have sense for you, and also the people that you work for, your bosses, they actually know what the great deal is all about, being a leader. But also, we understood that today we also need to be accompanied. You need to be supported. You also need a coach. That was just very, very powerful. So thanks so much, Michael. Thanks so much, Rich. It's been a great pleasure having you here and share this 20 or so minutes with you.
Thank you.
And
It's
Thank
an
you
honor
very
as
much.
well.
And I hope to have you on the channel another day, sometime soon again, so we can discuss other topics, other subjects, and just to pick up your brain, because you're full of wisdom, you're full of experience that we all need on this channel. So I can have you anytime back.
Just real quick, folks, if you're watching him, you're listening to him, you do it regularly. This guy's a great coach. He's got great coaching instincts.
Absolutely.
Got great coaching desires. He's got great chops when it comes to being a coach. He's a great one. He's a keeper.
Thank you, Michael.
Absolutely.
All right, so that was it for this video. Thanks very much all for watching us. And again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? You got to subscribe. You don't want to miss golden nugget like this. You got to subscribe, activate the notification button so be notified whenever I leave a video like this. And also don't forget to share. These are information that normally Michael and Rich, I think, make you pay thousands of dollars for it, right? So you got it here for free. So make sure you share it, and please do get in touch with them. You need a coach. You need someone to accompany you. I was in that case before. As a young leader, as a young manager, I thought I had it all figured out. And then for me to realize that, no, I need someone to help. So don't be me 10 years ago. Be someone that goes faster, okay? So that's the advice I can give you today. So thanks very much all. Thanks for watching this video, and I suggest you watch the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.